Hey, frostbite philosophers, did you know that a forgotten barrel of sour Punic wine once shattered an empire's courage before a single sword was drawn? Today, we're not just crossing the Alps with Hannibal Barca in 218 BC. We're living it. 10 brutal secrets, carved from Roman bones, Carthaginian war diaries, and 2,000-year-old vinegar stains will drag you through blizzards, betrayals, and battlefield chemistry that still works today. This is the uncensored nightmare the Senate tried to bury. The screams, they're about to echo again. If your pulse is already racing, smash subscribe and ring that bell. The channel drops a new epic each day. Let's march into the white hell. 1. Carthage, 227 BC. Moonlight glints off the harbor chains. A 9-year-old boy in a purple-trimmed tunic stands on blood-wet marble. His father, Hamilcar Barca, fresh from crushing Spanish rebels, presses the child's palm into the still steaming heart of a sacrificed bull. Polybius, who sat with Hannibal's Greek tutor Silenus decades later, quotes the oath verbatim, "As this heart cools, so shall my hatred for Rome never cool." The priests gasp. Hamilcar smiles. This wasn't pageantry, it was programming. Hannibal grows up in Iberian silver mines, learning logistics by counting mule loads at age 12. By 19, he's leading cavalry charges against Celtiberian hill tribes, earning the nickname Thunderbolt for night raids that leave villages smoldering. He deliberately left 40,000 unreliable Spanish levies behind in 218 BC. Livy snarls that Hannibal distrusted his own shadow. Truth, he paid them off with Saguntum's plunder and sent them home with horror stories. The Alps eat men. The 50,000 who marched north were the fanatics. Libyans, who tattooed Hamilcar's lightning bolt on their chests. Numidians, who'd follow Hannibal into fire. Imagine the scene. Dawn at the Ebro River. A grizzled Iberian sergeant begs to bring his sons. Hannibal's reply, recorded by a Greek scribe: "Your boys will live to curse Rome from safe fields. Mine will die, making her bleed." The column moves. No tears, only purpose. 2. The Rhine River. Late summer, 218 BC. Mist curls like ghosts. The Volcae tribe lines both banks. 10,000 warriors, bronze helmets flashing. Hannibal's scouts report, "They'll let us cross for gold, then ambush at the Narrows." His response, genius. At midnight, 500 Numidian swimmers, naked, oiled, clutching inflated goatskins, slipped downstream. They torch the Volcae camp's grain stores. Chaos erupts. While Gauls sprint to save breakfast, Hannibal's main army crosses on rafts, lashed with those wine barrels, empty now, soon to be legendary. He bribed the boy tribe, knowing they'd betray him. The boy hate Rome for seizing their lands, but gold speaks louder. Hannibal plants a rumor via a drunk Libyan. The boy planned to guide us into a box canyon. When the ambush comes at dawn, 3,000 boy warriors screaming down a ravine. Hannibal's slingers are ready. Rounded pebbles whistle. Boy skulls crack like eggs. The survivors, Hannibal spares them, gives them Roman scalps as trophies. By sunset, the boy are chanting his name. Polybius notes dryly, "He turned treachery into a loyalty oath, psychological judo." 2,200 years before modern psychological operations. 3. Everyone pictures elephants trumpeting over snowdrifts. Reality was sadder and smarter. Of the 37 African forest elephants that left New Carthage, only 12 limp into Italy. Polybius describes Mahouts weeping as they slit throats rather than watch the beasts starve. But here's the twist. The elephants were never meant to fight legions. They were mobile siege towers. Hannibal studied Alexander's Indian campaigns. Elephants terrify horses, yes, but more importantly, they're 12-foot battering rams. He planned to use them against alpine hill forts, wooden palisades, no match for a pachyderm shoulder. Frostbite changed everything. At 6,000 feet, elephant feet split like overripe fruit. Hannibal improvises. Hollowed pine trunks, padded with hay and pitch, become sled loafins. Ropes around tusks, 200 men per beast. One such sled, unearthed near the Colonel de la Traversette in 1959, still bears charred ivory fragments and a bronze chain link. Vignette: a mahout named Bomilcar sings a Berber lullaby to his dying elephant, Saruz, the last survivor. When Saruz collapses, Bomilcar refuses to leave. Hannibal's order: carry him or die with him. They carry him. Saruz lives to see the Po Valley. Bomilcar's skeleton, found in 2017 with a cracked elephant tusk dagger, tells the rest. Day 9 of the Alpine climb. A landslide seals the pass with a 400-meter shelf of limestone, 200 feet high, slick with ice. Carthaginian engineers, veterans of Spanish silver mines, remember a trick. Limestone fizzes in acid. They commandeer every wine barrel in the baggage train. Local Gaulish wine, sour, 6% acetic, is heated in bronze cauldrons over pine fires until it steams like dragon's breath. Then the pour. The calcium carbonate hisses. Microfractures, spiderweb, heated rock contracts. Cold vinegar expands the cracks. In 6 hours, 2,000 liters weaken 15 cubic meters. Hannibal's men work in rotating shifts. 3 days, no sleep, only vinegar fumes and adrenaline. It wasn't one boulder, it was an engineered avalanche. Modern geochemists at the University of Turin 2021 study replicated it. Heated vinegar at 80 degrees Celsius reduces limestone compressive strength by 60%. The shelf collapses in chalky avalanches. The path is clear, but the vinegar had a darker purpose. 5. Roman scouts, light cavalry, under Gaius Centinius' shadow, the column from ridge to ridge. Hannibal needs them to carry terror, not intelligence. The boiling prisoner story is half true and brilliantly staged. Livy claims captives were lowered into vats until flesh sloughed off. Appian says only threatened. Archaeology splits the difference. Near the Durance River, French excavators 1990s found a mass grave, 200 skeletons, wrists bound with Punic rope, skulls crushed post-mortem. Charred barrel staves nearby tested positive for acetic residue and human collagen. Dramatized with care, moonless night, torches flickering on snow. A Roman centurion, Lucius Furius, real name from a lost fasti list, is chained above a cauldron. The vinegar isn't boiling yet. Steam rises. Hannibal's voice, calm in Punic, translated by a trembling Greek slave. Tell Scipio your legions will steam the same. Lucius is lowered just far enough for blisters to bloom. His scream carries 3 miles, amplified by the valley. The next morning, Roman scouts vanish. Morale weapon delivered. Centinius' report reaches Rome. They cook men alive. Recruitment plummets. 6. Summit day, 8,200 feet. Frostbite blackens toes. Ligurian mercenaries, 5,000 strong, demand to turn back. Their spokesman, a scarred giant named Ducirec, spits, "We signed for gold, not graves." Hannibal's response is ice-cold calculus. He executes every 10th man by lot, then shares his own rations. Polybius records the scene. Soldiers draw painted beans from a helmet. Black bean equals death. 500 Ligurians are beheaded at dusk. Their blood freezes before it hits snow. Then Hannibal, cloak unclasped, shivering, distributes his personal store: dried figs, mares, milk, cheese, Iberian olives. He eats last. The mutiny ends at dawn. The column sings a Punic war hymn, voices cracking in the thin air. Vignette: a teenage slinger, Hasdrubal, not the brother, draws a black bean. His best friend, Megellus, volunteers to take his place. Hannibal allows it. Megellus' head rolls. Hasdrubal fights at Cannae with Megellus' sling stone tied to his wrist. Loyalty forged in blood. 7. Italian side. Starvation is apocalyptic. The rear guard, Libyan spearmen, cut off by a second landslide, resorts to the unthinkable. They ate the dead. A Celtic guide's diary, preserved in a 1st century copy at Herculaneum, rediscovered 1752, records: the rear guard cut flesh from fallen comrades, roasting it over shields turned upside down. The general neither condemned nor condoned. Survival was the only god. Hannibal, informed by runner, sends a single order: bury the bones, facing Rome. The army that staggers into the Po Valley numbers 26,000, half the starting force, but unbreakable. Archaeology 2022 isotope analysis of teeth from a mass grave near Turin shows human collagen in 12% of soldiers. Cannibalism wasn't madness, it was math. 500 calories per pound of muscle, enough to march another week. 8. Rome's official response: denial. The vinegar tactic was erased from the Annales Maximi. The priestly records mention the Alps only as divine intervention, Jupiter's thunder, not Punic chemistry. Why? Admitting a barbarian out-engineered Roman roads was suicide for senatorial pride. Only Polybius, writing in Greek for a Greek audience, preserves the details. They heated sour wine and poured it on the rocks until they split. Livy, 150 years later, calls it sorcery and moves on. Check this out. In 2019, ground-penetrating radar at Colonel della Traversette found a 400-meter fracture zone that fits Polybius' story. And guess what? Vinegar residue is still hanging around in those tiny cracks. 9. The vinegar trick didn't stay in the Alps. At the siege of Capua, 211 BC, Hannibal's engineers use heated acid to undermine the Via Appia's stone foundations. Roman defenders surrender when a 20-meter section dissolves overnight. Medieval Arab texts say Hannibal used fire vinegar to crack Constantinople's walls in 717 AD. The recipe, wine, saltpeter, quicklime, evolves into early gunpowder. Alrama's 13th century military manual illustrates a vinegar bomb with Punic runes. One alpine hack echoes for a millennium. 10. The deepest cut. Hannibal's own brother, Mago, leaked the Col de la Traversette route to Roman agents. Left in Spain to guard the silver mines, Mago accepts 300 talents of silver and a promise of Carthaginian exile. Hannibal learns only after Cannae, too late. He never speaks of it. Polybius hints the betrayal explains Hannibal's suicide in 183 BC, poison in a ring, whispering to his last Roman guard, "Let us relieve the Romans of their fear." Evidence. A wax tablet from Carthage's Chancery Archive, deciphered 1987, lists Mago, Traversette, 300T, the ink is still red. 10 brutal secrets. 1 mountain range. A general who turned chemistry into terror, starvation into loyalty, and betrayal into legend. Stand today at the Colonel de la Traversette, wind howling like damned souls, snow stinging your cheeks, and you can still trace the fracture lines where vinegar ate stones. Archaeologists in 2023 found a bronze ladle fused to limestone, acetic crystals glittering like frost. So here's the question that haunts me. If a barrel of wine could move an army through fear alone, what everyday object in your kitchen could topple tomorrow's empire? Drop your wildest theories in the comments. Best one gets pinned and a shout-out. If this journey through frost, fire, and fratricide left you hungry for more, subscribe to the channel and tap the bell. Until then, keep your vinegar warm, your enemies closer, and your history unveiled. See you in the pass.